My beloved brothers and sisters, today I want to remind you of something very profound and very beautiful, something that should fill our hearts with hope and courage. Allah, the most merciful, the most powerful, is the one who guards, the one who protects, the one who grants dignity and freedom to whom He wills. Our topic today is Allah guards Iran, fearless and free. This is not just a slogan. It is a reminder that when Allah's help is with a nation, when the people hold firmly to faith, to justice, to truth, no force on earth can enslave them, no power can break them. So my brothers and sisters, let us revive our trust in Allah, renew our unity, and remind ourselves our strength does not lie in weapons or wealth. It lies in the unwavering belief that Allah is enough for us. He is the guardian over all things, and He grants true freedom to those who stand firm in faith and righteousness. May Allah make us among those who are fearless, free, and forever under His divine protection. Ameen. My dear brothers and sisters, we begin by reminding ourselves of the most powerful truth, that Allah is the guardian over all things. Nothing escapes His knowledge. Nothing is beyond His control. Sometimes when we see what is happening around us, the plots, the pressures, the tests that a nation may face, our hearts may feel heavy. But we must remind ourselves again and again, the one who guards the heavens and the earth is the same one who guards His servants who trust Him sincerely. Iran, like any land where people stand for truth and justice, is not left alone. Allah promises in the Quran that He is with those who are patient and steadfast. He is with those who do not sell their faith for worldly gain, who do not bow to tyranny and falsehood. So when we say Allah guards Iran, fearless and free, we are declaring our belief that true safety, true freedom, true dignity comes only from Him. Sometimes people place their trust in material things, in armies, in wealth, in alliances. But history has shown us that these things can vanish in a moment. Kingdoms rise and fall. Wealth can be lost overnight. Friends can turn into foes. But the protection of Allah remains. His plan is perfect, even when we do not see it. He tells us in the Quran that perhaps you dislike something and He has placed much good in it for you. So even when challenges come, even when trials shake the nation, the believer knows that these tests are not to break us, but to build us. They are to purify our ranks, to strengthen our hearts, to separate truth from falsehood. It is important for us to remember that guarding is not only about protecting borders or keeping enemies at bay. Allah's guarding is complete. He guards hearts from fear. He guards minds from confusion. He guards faith from corruption. When a people hold fast to Him, when they remember Him in private and in public, when they seek His help more than the help of any worldly power, then He opens doors they never imagined. He makes the weak strong. He turns fear into courage, oppression into victory, hardship into ease, and all of this happens with patience and faith. Today, some may think that the pressures from outside, the sanctions, the propaganda, the whispers that try to divide hearts, all these things are too much. But the truth is, these are the moments when the believer's trust in Allah shines the brightest. These are the moments when families gather in prayer, when the youth wake up to their responsibility, when communities stand side by side as one body, and when that happens, the protection of Allah descends. It is not seen in headlines, but it is felt in the calm of the heart, the resilience of the people, the unshakable dignity that no threat can remove. So let us remind ourselves, and remind our children, and remind our neighbors. We do not fear the schemes of people when we have faith in the promise of Allah. He is the best of protectors, the best of planners. He is the best of protectors, the best of planners. He is the best of protectors, the best of planners. He is the best of protectors, the best of protectors. He is the best of protectors, the best of protectors. Our duty is to hold firm, to keep our hearts sincere, to turn back to Him again and again. When we do this, we will see miracles where others see obstacles. We will see hope where others see despair. We will stand fearless and free, because our guardian is the most powerful, the most merciful, the one who never sleeps, never forgets, never fails. My beloved brothers and sisters, after placing our trust in Allah's protection, the next pillar that keeps any nation fearless and free is the unity of its people. When hearts are united, when families stand together, when neighbors care for one another, then no force in this world can break them apart. Disunity is one of the greatest tools used by those who wish to weaken a nation. They know that when people are divided, when they argue among themselves, when they lose respect for one another, then they become easy to control and easy to defeat. But when people put aside their differences for the sake of a greater purpose, for the sake of their faith, their dignity, their freedom, then they become strong, like a solid structure that cannot be shaken. Allah reminds us in the Quran, and hold firmly to the rope of Allah all together and do not become divided. This is not just advice, it is a command. Because division brings weakness and regret, but unity brings strength and victory. For Iran, or for any nation that wishes to stand fearless and free, unity must be protected like a precious jewel. It must be guarded in our homes, in our communities, in our mosques, in our schools. Every word we speak, every post we share, every rumor we spread must be weighed carefully. Are we spreading unity or are we fueling division? Are we helping our brothers and sisters or are we making it easier for enemies to succeed? True unity does not mean we all look the same or think exactly the same. It means we respect each other. We listen to each other, and when we disagree with mercy and wisdom. The Prophet taught us that the believers are like one body. If one part is in pain, the whole body feels it. So when one family struggles, others should rush to help. When one region faces hardship, others should stand by their side. If we ignore each other's pain, if we only care about our own comfort, then our unity becomes weak. But when we carry each other's burdens, Allah places blessing in our efforts. In times of hardship, unity is even more important. It is easy to stand together when things are easy. The real test comes when there is pressure, when there is fear, when people try to spread suspicion and mistrust. That is when our faith must shine through our actions. We must look at each other with the best assumptions. We must not be quick to believe gossip. We must not let petty arguments grow into deep divisions. Instead, we must remind each other, we are one ummah, one family. This unity must also include our leaders and our people. When leaders are just and people are sincere, when advice is given with respect and received with humility, then unity becomes unbreakable. Young and old, rich and poor, scholar and student, each one has a role. No one is too small to contribute, and no one is too big to listen. Let us teach our children that their neighbors are like their own family. Let us gather our youth in circles of remembrance, not circles of gossip. Let us build bridges between tribes, regions, and communities. Let our mosques be places where hearts are healed, not where grudges are fueled. When people see us, they should see one people, strong in faith, strong in love, strong in purpose. And know, my brothers and sisters, that unity does not remove our differences, it makes them beautiful. Just like a garden with many flowers is more beautiful than a garden with only one type of flower. When we unite with all our colors, our languages, our talents, we become a force that no power can break. And with Allah's help, a united nation is always fearless and free. My dear brothers and sisters, after placing our trust in Allah and uniting our hearts, we must stand firm against injustice in every form. This is not an option for the believer, it is a duty. Allah commands us to stand for justice, even if it is against our own selves, our families, or our closest companions. A nation that turns away from injustice, that refuses to be silent in the face of oppression, is a nation that will remain fearless and free. Injustice comes in many shapes. It can come from outside forces that seek to control, exploit, or humiliate. It can also come from within, when we wrong each other, when we cheat, when we oppress those who are weaker than us. If we wish for Allah's protection over our land, we must first purify ourselves from all forms of wrongdoing. We cannot ask for freedom while we enslave others with lies, corruption, or cruelty. Look at the example of the Prophet and his noble companions. They stood against the greatest injustices of their time with courage and patience. They did not remain silent when the weak were exploited, when the orphans were ignored, when the rich crushed the poor. They spoke the truth, even when it cost them their comfort. They endured hardship for the sake of a higher cause. And because of this, Allah honored them with success in this world and the next. Today we must learn from that example. We must be brave enough to speak up when we see something wrong. We must defend the rights of the oppressed, whether they are in our neighborhood or across the world. We must be fair in our business, honest in our dealings, kind in our leadership. If we wish for our nation to be guarded by Allah, we must remove injustice from our homes, our offices, our streets. Sometimes we fear that standing up for what is right will bring us trouble. We fear losing our wealth, our position, our comfort. But remember, Allah is the one who gives and takes. No one can take what Allah has written for you, and no one can protect you from the consequences of turning a blind eye to injustice. When we stand firm, we are not alone. Allah stands with the just. He strengthens their hearts. He supports them with means they could never imagine. Standing firm does not always mean shouting or fighting. Sometimes it means patiently resisting temptations to compromise our values. Sometimes it means refusing to be silent when others spread lies. Sometimes it means correcting a friend with love, stopping a brother from harming another, or reminding ourselves to stay true when no one is watching. If we want Iran or any land to remain fearless and free, then every citizen must be a guardian of justice. From the marketplace to the school, from the government office to the family dinner table, we must live by fairness and truth. Parents must teach their children that lying and cheating bring darkness, while honesty brings light and blessing. Teachers must remind their students that true strength is not in harming others, but in standing up for what is right. Leaders must remember that power is a trust from Allah. It must be used to lift people up, not to crush them down. We should not fear the threats of oppressors, because oppression never lasts. History shows us that tyrants come and go. Empires built on injustice crumble sooner or later. But a people who stand for justice are honored by Allah, even if they face hardship in the short term. Their legacy remains. Their prayers are answered. Their children inherit a land that is dignified and free. So let us promise ourselves today, we will not bow to injustice. We will not be silent in the face of wrongdoing. We will not sell our conscience for the comforts of this world. We will stand, we will speak, we will hold each other accountable, and we will trust that Allah's help is near for those who live by truth and fairness. My beloved brothers and sisters, after trusting in Allah, uniting our hearts, and standing firm against injustice, there is another weapon that no enemy can see and no oppressor can block, and that is the power of sincere prayer, our dua. Prayer is not just words we say with our tongues. It is the deepest connection between the servant and the Lord of the worlds. When we lift our hands, when our eyes fill with tears, when our hearts pour out their worries, hopes and fears to Allah alone, that is when miracles happen. It is easy to think that prayer is small compared to worldly plans and powers. Some may mock it, saying, "What can a prayer do when enemies gather, when resources are blocked, when threats surround us?" But we know, and we remind ourselves, that the prayer of a sincere heart can move mountains, can change the course of nations, can break chains that no sword can cut. Look at the examples throughout our history. How many times did victory come when the odds were impossible? How many times did relief arrive when people had lost hope? It was the hidden prayers of mothers, the whispered pleas of the oppressed, the desperate cries in the last third of the night that brought down tyrants and lifted up the weak. For Iran to remain fearless and free, its people must never underestimate this gift. A nation that prays together, that turns to Allah at dawn and dusk, that calls upon Him in gratitude and in need, is a nation that is guarded from above. No power can harm a people who have placed their trust in Allah and call upon Him with broken, humble hearts. But our dua must be sincere. It must come with humility and with effort. We do not raise our hands and then sleep through our responsibilities. We do not beg Allah for protection and then open the doors to corruption. We do not ask for freedom while we chain ourselves with sin. Dua is not a shortcut. It is a commitment. When we pray, we promise Allah that we will do our part, however small, while trusting Him with what is beyond us. The Prophet taught us that dua is the weapon of the believer, but a weapon must be cared for, cleaned and used with wisdom. So too must our prayers come from pure hearts. We must purify our income, our words, our actions. We must pray for each other, not only for ourselves. We must pray for our leaders to be guided, for our enemies to be turned away or guided to truth. When was the last time we wept in prayer for our brothers and sisters? When was the last time we woke up in the last part of the night when Allah comes down to the lowest heaven and asks, "Who is asking so that I may give him? Who is seeking forgiveness so I may forgive him?" This is the time when doors open, when heavy burdens are lifted. Let our homes be filled with dua. Let our children see us lifting our hands, not just in hardship, but in gratitude. Let them hear us asking Allah to guard our land, to protect our dignity, to keep us fearless and free. When they see this, they will learn where true strength comes from. They will know that we do not rely only on what we build with our hands, but on the one who built the heavens and the earth. So, my dear brothers and sisters, never think your prayer is too small or your voice too weak. A single tear shed in the quiet of the night can bring help from the unseen. A single sincere dua can defeat 1,000 plots. If we wish for Iran to remain under Allah's guard, fearless and free, then we must become a nation of prayerful hearts, calling upon our Lord with certainty that He hears, He cares, and He responds in the best of ways. My dear brothers and sisters, after placing our trust in Allah, holding firmly to unity, standing against injustice, and turning to sincere prayer, there remains a duty that will secure this legacy far beyond our own time, and that is raising a generation that is filled with courage and wisdom. For a nation to remain fearless and free, its future must be prepared today. No land can stay strong if its children grow up weak in faith, confused in identity, or blind to their responsibility. Allah tells us in the Quran that our wealth and our children are a test. They can be the source of our honor in this world and the next, or they can become a reason for regret if we neglect them. Many nations fell not because of enemies at the gate, but because they failed to raise strong hearts and sharp minds within their homes. So if we wish for Allah to guard Iran or any land, we must invest our best efforts in the hearts and minds of our sons and daughters. Courage and wisdom do not appear overnight. They are planted like seeds and watered daily with love, discipline, and example. A child learns bravery not only by hearing stories of heroes, but by watching their parents stand for truth. A child learns wisdom not only through books, but by sitting with elders, listening to guidance and seeing how faith shapes daily life. It begins in the home. Fathers must be fathers in truth, not just in name. Protectors, guides, teachers. Mothers must be mothers in the way our noble mothers in Islam were, raising children who know how to speak with respect, who carry themselves with dignity, who fear no one but Allah. This is how we build generations who do not bend their heads for false promises, who do not sell their souls for fleeting pleasures, who stand tall in the face of lies because they know the value of truth. Today, many distractions fight for the minds of our youth. Today, many distractions fight for the minds of our youth. Today, many distractions fight for the minds of our youth. Empty entertainment, poisonous ideologies, fake heroes, all of these things pull at them day and night. If we do not fill their hearts with purpose, someone else will fill them with confusion. If we do not teach them where they come from and where they are going, they will drift without direction. A fearless and free nation must raise fearless and free thinkers, grounded in faith, guided by wisdom. Education must be more than memorizing facts. It must build character. It must open eyes to the world, but root the heart firmly in faith. We need schools that teach our history with pride, that teach our language with love, that connect our children to the Quran as their manual for life. We need teachers who do not just stand at blackboards, but stand as role models, reminding the young that knowledge is not just power, but a trust from Allah. And beyond books, our children must learn life skills. They must know how to serve, how to sacrifice, how to lead, how to listen. They must see us speak kindly, stand bravely, pray sincerely. If we show them that faith is alive, they will carry that flame far beyond our time. And we must give them hope. Teach them that no matter what happens in this world, Allah is always with those who hold on to Him. Remind them that their value is not in what others say about them, but in how they live before their Creator. Teach them that mistakes happen, but Allah's door is always open. Guide them to know that true freedom is freedom from sin and fear of people, and that real courage is to stand firm when the world tries to pull you away from what is right. If we do this, then even if we leave this world tomorrow, we leave behind guardians of the future, a generation that will keep this land fearless and free under the watch of Allah. This is the best gift, the best legacy, and the best protection. My dear brothers and sisters, after trusting Allah's protection, uniting our hearts, standing firm against injustice, strengthening our prayers, and raising a generation of courage and wisdom, we arrive at the foundation that ties all these together. True freedom comes only through faith and righteousness. Many people misunderstand freedom. They think freedom means doing whatever you like, following every desire, chasing every pleasure, living without rules or limits. But that kind of freedom is not freedom at all. It is another prison, just dressed in beautiful colors. True freedom is the freedom of the soul. It is to free yourself from fear of creation by fearing the Creator alone. It is to free your heart from being chained by your desires. It is to lift your head high with dignity because you know you bow only to Allah and no one else. This is what our beloved Prophet taught us. Tales of prophecy. Tales of prophecy. What about Latina Tal Illu? He came to free people from worshipping other people, other systems, other illusions, and to connect them directly to the one who holds all power in his hands. A nation that forgets this truth can never be truly free, no matter how many slogans they chant or flags they raise. If people abandon faith, if they break the limits set by Allah, they soon become slaves to other things. Slaves to greed, to pride, to corruption, to leaders who care nothing for them. Freedom, but a people who hold tightly to righteousness, who live by the moral code that Allah sent down, become strong and dignified. Their hearts are calm because they know they are pleasing their Lord. Their steps are firm because they know they walk on the straight path. Look at history. Whenever faith and righteousness flourished, freedom and honor followed. When faith was strong in the hearts of the believers, they feared no tyrant, no empire, no army. They understood that if they did what was right, Allah would open the doors, even if the entire world tried to close them. But when people became careless with their faith, when they broke the bonds of righteousness, they opened the doors for corruption, division, and humiliation. My dear brothers and sisters, if we wish for Allah to guard Iran or any place on this earth, we must anchor our lives in faith. Our mosques must be filled, our hearts must be alive with the remembrance of Allah, our homes must echo with the recitation of the Quran. We must not just pray with our lips but live with our actions. Our businesses must be honest, our families must be pure, our promises must be kept, our words must be truthful. This is righteousness, not just rituals, but a way of life. And know this, righteousness does not chain us down, it lifts us up. The rules of Allah do not suffocate us, they protect us from our own weakness. Just like traffic laws do not stop us from driving freely but keep us safe on the road, so too do Allah's commands protect our dignity, our families, our wealth, our honor. Let us teach our children that freedom without faith is a trap. Let us remind our elders that righteousness is not old-fashioned, it is timeless. Let us remind our youth that no music, no fashion, no slogan of this world can fill the emptiness that only faith can heal. Let us remind ourselves that it is better to live with less in obedience than to have the whole world at the cost of our principles. So my brothers and sisters, if we wish to remain fearless and free, let us hold tightly to the rope of Allah. Let our faith shine in our words and actions. Let our righteousness protect us from the inside while Allah guards us from the outside. When we live like this, no force in this world can enslave us. We walk this earth free, dignified, protected by the one who sees all, hears all, and answers the prayers of those who hold firmly to Him.